Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another session of our winter webinar series. Today, we are talking about autonomous DEM or digital experience management, some latest features. So, before I talk about the latest features enhancement which we have introduced in ADEM, let's do a quick recap. So, today, visibility challenges with today's cloud-centric and hybrid work, whether the user is working from home, in a coffee shop, or back in the office 3 days a week or more than 3 days a week, they are always using some shared network and application services that IT has no way of monitoring for performance. Every home is a corporate office now. Work from home has redefined the network ownership boundaries, and IT is losing the visibility across the entire service delivery chain between the users and applications like user uh, device, wireless connection, at home office, ISP, and application itself. We have all experienced poor Zoom quality or unresponsive web pages because of memory or CPUs running low on the computer. This is usually because we have too many browser tabs open, or there are just too many other apps running in the background consuming resources. So how do you get this visibility and quickly understand if this user is experiencing poor Zoom performance, which is caused by what is happening in this device? As users are connected from home, they usually have to contend with their other streaming devices, the gaming application. There are a lot of times when the users have poor Wi-Fi signal strength because they are working from their backyard or in the garage or far away from their access point is located. In addition to this, there could be network latency with the home local area network or with the ISP. This could cause by the user having an old router or one that is connecting to more devices. Now imagine these users call into IT to help resolve an app experience problem, and IT today does not have the right monitoring tools to help the users resolve these problems. So with this hybrid work, which is now the new norm, you want to make sure the users have the consistent positive digital experience regardless of where and how they work. As I talked about earlier, IT lacks the visibility to the different segments of the service delivery path from the users using Wi-Fi, router, ISP, security stack in the cloud to access the SaaS applications. And IT also lacks the necessary tools to identify and isolate the exact problem, domain, or root cause. So with the ADEM for users, with our native integration on the endpoints via Global Protect, we are able to provide unique insights into what is happening across the entire service delivery path from endpoint itself to Wi-Fi, LAN, WAN side of the router without having to install anything new, using the visibility straight from the endpoint and the global vantage points inside the Prisma Access Cloud. We can collect telemetry from combination of synthetic monitoring tests and real user monitoring analytics to provide the segment-wise insights and comprehensive visibility that we talked about earlier. Endpoint monitoring includes what the CPU, memory disk, battery life of the device is, and its local connectivity. The running of tests from the source to destination to establish a performance baseline so you can quickly and easily identify when a problem occurs. This is actual traffic when the user is actually using an application or network assets so you can monitor real user traffic. And similarly, for ADEM for remote networks, it, it provides a path and performance visibility with the segment-wise insights into not just users, but all applications used by the devices in every branch. Unlike other DAM solutions, ADEM is natively integrated into the SD-WAN appliances, which allows it to mirror the experience of every application hosted anywhere across all the configured paths from branch, which can be underlay, overlay, active, or backup. It provides admins with actionable information to isolate problems, domains, and resolve issues faster. This capability can be easily enabled by existing customers through a subscription from the cloud with just a few clicks. It does not require any additional appliances of the VM. Let's talk about some of the new feature enhancements which we have recently introduced in ADEM. The first one I will talk about ADEM self-serve. ADEM self-serve empowers end users to resolve the application experience issues that fall into the preview without consulting IT by displaying notification on their endpoints with suggested remediation. ADEM self-serve reduces the ticket load and improves the experience of end users by helping them quickly to resolve issues which like CPU and memory issues impacting application experience. ADEM self-serve can detect high CPU or memory utilization conditions and notify the mobile users with guided remediation. ADEM can detect poor Wi-Fi quality or the change in Wi-Fi connection or disconnect conditions and notify the mobile users with a guided remediation. It also can detect internet disconnections for wired and wireless connections and notify the mobile users with guided remediation as well. Let's talk about some use cases of self-serve. High CPU notification. Let's suppose a user experiencing a high CPU, then it will be notified immediately and provide the guidance and recommendation. If that condition persists, users will be notified every 30 minutes. Users can learn historical trends in CPU utilization and number of time they were notified of high CPU conditions. If a user A has crossed configured threshold level of memory utilization, that user will be notified about the memory utilization status with a guidance to and recommendation to avoid potential performance degradation. If a user moves in his home during the day and he's sitting in some spot where the Wi-Fi signal quality is weak, that user will be immediately notified with the remediation and guidance steps. The Wi-Fi signal quality assessment allows the users to prevent any potential performance degradation due to Wi-Fi network weak signal. Consider a scenario where a user is accidentally connects to his neighbor's Wi-Fi, which is offering him a poor Wi-Fi signal quality. With self-serve, that user will be immediately notified of the change in wireless network, which result in a poor connectivity. This user will be provided some recommendations to switch the Wi-Fi, the past or the previous Wi-Fi it was connected, which was offering the better connectivity and user experience. If accidentally Wi-Fi disabled, so that user will be immediately get a notification of Wi-Fi disabled. If you want to learn about how we can enable self-serve, so in one of our previous webinar, I have covered how we can enable and how can we define the different thresholds for self-serve notifications, and how can we control that and manage notifications. So you can watch the recording, which is available on our live community page. You can watch that recording, that will be helpful. Another feature which we have introduced is a role-based access control in ADEM. ADEM provides a role-based access control to the IT administrators. Now, for example, the super users who have the right read and write permission, and then you can set the network admin, security admin, or a SOC analyst, which will be having only the ADEM read permissions only. They cannot change anything, or they cannot change the configurations. How you can change or make any provisioning in the role-based access control in ADEM. So to assign the ADEM Tier 1 support role to an existing user, you need to log in into your Prisma Access app at your Palo Alto Networks apps.paloaltonetworks.com or on the hub. And you will see there at the bottom left corner, the left panel, you will see there the Prisma SASE user interface. You need to click that, and it will open up a tenant and service identity and access under the common services. You can select your tenant, common services, and add identification information, enter the email address, and then select the Prisma Access app and services, which will be, in this case, will be ADEM. And once you select that, ADEM Tier 1 support under the role menu, and then click Submit. Another feature I will talk about is Prisma Access Locations Dashboard. Prisma Access Locations Dashboard has two tabs. One is a map view, and another one is a list view. The map view shows each Prisma Access location within your SASE environment. You can see the circles on this map. These circles are color-coded to give you the quick visibility into the average digital experience scores for each location. Green is for good, yellow is fair, and red is poor. The circle represents monitored Prisma Access locations. When there are multiple locations that are too close to each other, they get represented by a single circle with a number, which you can see here. This number indicates that how many locations that circle represents. You can enlarge the map and see the details of individual locations. You can hover your mouse cursor over these monitors Prisma Access locations, which are represented by the circle, to see the application distribution for the connected mobile users to each location. So these application scores are categorized by number of apps running that have good, fair, and poor scores. You can also see the overall status of the app for all the mobile users and remote sites, or both, that are connected to that particular locations. You can filter the data using these filters available there. And the status on the top left, you can see here, it explains the overall health status. It takes into account both application and network performance scores. And next we have in Prisma Access Location Dashboard, another tab, which is the list view. The list view shows the health of monitored applications from the vantage point of each Prisma access locations. You can further drill down into the details of each location to see the health matrix for all the applications configured for that location. The data displays in here using one or more of the following filters, which are application experience score and Prisma access locations. One particular location in the list view, it will open up a more granular detailed information, and you can see here end-to-end performance matrix from Prisma access location to the application. You can see the total number of applications used in a location as well as their health distribution. The status of each application and test which is being monitored will be displayed here. You can see the Cloud Agent Experience widget, which explains you the application health distribution, good, fair, or poor. Another exciting feature I will be talking about is Zoom integration with ADEM. So Zoom's communication platform has become a lifeline in today's work from home or work from anywhere environment. Users expect a fast, high quality, and seamless meeting experience to maintain collaboration and high productivity. However, hardware issues, poor Wi-Fi quality, or internet service provider or ISP network challenges can potentially impact call or meeting quality. Today, when users report issues, IT administrators do not have a single place to see data quality for the end-to-end meeting lifecycle. This makes it next to impossible to identify issues, troubleshoot the root cause, and resolve them quickly. ADEM Zoom integration feature provides ADEM and Zoom quality of service subscription QSS, the relevant data access across the endpoints, meetings, and the network in a single dashboard, providing insights that quickly identify and address the root cause of the meeting and call issues. This integration of the QSS with ADEM empowers IT team to provide an exceptional user experience, which reduces the burden and cost of support tickets and improve the business outcome. ADEM Zoom integration helps to identify the overall application experience and user experience for Zoom meetings and webinars for an organization. It provides the relevant data to endpoints, meetings, and network in a single dashboard, helps to identify the root cause rapidly and confidently. It improves the MTTR for hardware, network, or environmental factors that impact the Zoom experience and results in IT ticket, ultimately helping to get end users back to work quickly. You need Zoom quality of service QSS license from Zoom to enable this feature, as well as you should have ADEM standard license, which is required from to enable the offer the Prisma access. Once you enable this feature, Zoom begins sending this real-time meeting quality statistics to the ADEM cloud service. ADEM correlates its synthetic test data with the Zoom QSS to identify the real cause of every minute of poor call performance. And this will help the IT desk team, IT help desk team, and the admin to access the users and organization-wide insights from the ADEM dashboard. How you can enable Zoom integration with the ADEM. As I mentioned, you should have a Zoom QSS subscription and ADEM standard license for the Prisma access to enable this feature. So before you enable, you should authorize yourself through auth using Zoom credentials. Only Zoom admins can authorize to the app. Non-admin users will not be able to access it. On the successful authorization, Zoom admin will be able to pre-approve the Zoom SASE app into Zoom integration. After the app is successfully activated, QSS data will be received on the predefined HTTPS webhook endpoint provided by the app. And customers will have the option to disable Zoom QSS integration for their tenant in the ADEM dashboard. Zoom predefined application test is available under the application test tab in the ADEM dashboard. In the application dashboard, you can edit that app test and select the mobile users to be monitored, and then authorize the Zoom integration under this enable to access the mobile users. Once you authorize, users will be redirected to Zoom URL to authenticate, and then they have to click allow to monitor it. And the data will be click allow so that the add Prisma access Zoom integration app for the selected Zoom account. So upon successful authorization, ADEM will start receiving the QSS data on your behalf. You can see in the application dashboard that message, and you will see this slider button also, from where if you want, you can disable. Application user details. So once you enable this ADEM Zoom integration, you can log into the ADEM dashboard. In the application and dashboard, you will be able to monitor all the application data and performance scores. You will see there in the application dashboard, Zoom user experience summary, where it shows total number of meetings, and red will explain to you, if you hold your mouse, it will explain to you the meetings who are experiencing the problem and the root cause here. It's a local network performance devices, how many number of devices are experiencing this issue. ADEM uses 58% of the Zoom users, or percentage of the users in your organizations which are registered with this with ADEM. You can find all those details here. And once you click on each one of them, you will find more relevant information and details of each user who is in the meeting. On the mobile users dashboard in ADEM, we find overall Zoom performance reports, which includes on the audio performance, video, screen share. You can see here total number of minutes on the audio call and how many number of users experiencing audio issues. Similarly, for video and screen share, how many number of users are experiencing a screen share problem or a video. And you can see the root causes for each: the high latency, service level local area network, and high latency issues, percentage of the performance minutes, and suggested remedies. With this, I will end here, and I will hand over to our senior product manager, Sarah, who will be doing a quick demo for us. Over to you, Sarah.
So this is a demo that was captured on a demo instance that has all of Palo Alto Networks IT data. So this is a scaled demo environment with 12,000 users and about 19 million calls a month. This is my data for a month, and you can see here that you can see the number of minutes that I was in calls and the number of poor performing minutes, as well as meetings, number of poor performing meetings, and the impact to audio, video, and screen sharing across all of my calls. This is where ADEM's, real value add comes. So we're taking the Zoom data about the performance of calls, and we're correlating it with what we know from ADEM about the performance of the service delivery chain. So when Zoom reports that there has been a minute of poor performance in a call at, let's say, 3:23 p.m., we look in the ADEM data to see what was going on for that user at 3:23 p.m. And if we see a CPU or a memory issue, if we see a LAN issue or an ISP issue, we can with pretty high confidence say that there's a causal relationship, that, for example, high LAN latency was causing that minute of poor call performance. So here you can see a breakdown of all of my impacted minutes by a likely root cause. And then we populate a calendar of all of the calls that a user has been in. If you select a call you will see a drill down of that call. And if there's meetings of poor performance, we will give a breakdown of, for each minute of poor performance of the call, what we believe the root cause of that issue was. We're also showing the loss, latency, jitter, and bandwidth for audio, video, and screen sharing for every minute of that particular call. This is the organization-wide roll-up. So we take all of that root cause analysis and all of those meeting performance statistics, and we roll them up at the organization level. So this kind of minute granularity is not available in any other dashboard, including the Zoom dashboard. So here you can see how many poor performing minutes in the organization were there, and what percentage of all minutes does that represent. And then we roll up the root cause analysis across the organization as well. So for Palo Alto Networks, you can see that we have a lot of people with pretty high CPU consumption. This makes sense because we have a lot of developers who are either running IDEs or compiling code. And we've got a lot of people with high LAN latency. This is really common for people working from home because the LAN exit is often a neighborhood router, not actually the router in the end user's home. And that neighborhood router often experiences a lot of congestion. And then you can see a breakdown of all of the users with the most impacts for a particular issue. So here I've sorted by device, and you can see the users with the most number of impacted minutes that we believe is due to a device issue. And then we're populating a map of users who are experiencing call issues to bubble up any regional problems.